Hi, everyone. This is Vaughn Peck, the director of the Center for the Arts at Monmouth University, sitting in front of my garden because I'm a big show off and I thought the flowers behind me would be a nice touch, as well as my denim shirt that I made sure I wore today in honor of the art of denim. We were trying to decide what kind of a fun show to do for the summer. And since I've always loved my denim, I thought it would be a very fun idea after years of seeing some beautiful wall hangings and other pieces of art made out of reclaimed denim and over the years, and having done some myself, I thought it would be a really cool idea. Hi. I don't know if this already started or not, but I'm Vaughn and Kelly is with me, and none of this could happen without her. She is an incredible colleague and does all the heavy lifting, quite frankly. I just get the credit. We're trying to make a change there so she gets what she deserves in terms of that. But you've all had the pleasure of working with her, and she truly is an amazing, amazing person, professional, friend, and artist in her own right. So back to why we chose this subject. Over the years, I've seen many beautiful pieces of art created from reclaimed denim. I've made some attempts at it myself, and I always love to tell the story of how I made my daughter this gorgeous quilt when she was about 6 years old, made out of all my old blue jeans. And the first night that she got it or saw it, it was her birthday, and I surprised her and I tucked her in and I said, "What do you think of your quilt?" And she said, "I really like it, but I can't move." I never thought about how heavy it was going to be. And it was really funny. And it's a great family story that we get to tell all the time. And then thinking about the perfect juror for this, we have this amazing professor on campus. He's been there 51 years, and he teaches design, color theory, drawing 1 and 2. He's an intense artist himself, probably the most prolific one I've ever met. And he uses found objects in a lot of his work and does a lot of collages. Early on, he was a hard edge acrylic painter, and he has moved into, lately, he is buying up old pianos and using the pieces of the piano to make paintings and collages. And we just felt that because of his strong, long background with this, that he would be the perfect juror for the show. And so we chose Professor Vincent Amadio to jury the show. The show is stunning. I wish that you could come to the gallery and see it. I'm so pleased. Kelly and I are so pleased with it and the work. And it's really a showpiece. No pun intended, but it is. The unfortunate thing is, because of COVID, we've only been able to have guests come in by appointment only. But at least we're able to do this and instead of nothing. And we're leaving it up until the end of August, hoping that the restrictions lift and that people can just come and see it. And we're hoping that even though a lot of the artists are not from the immediate area, that the artists can come and see it as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should say other than congratulations to all of those who were juried in. And I hope you're pleased with the way it looks, which Kelly has spent hours and hours and hours working to create a video for you to see. It's in your court, Kelly.
All right, I'm going to try and get the video up, so bear with me. This is our first.
Meanwhile, I'll show the garden. I'll show off my beautiful hydrangeas. Look at this. Look at this iris, guys. It's just unbelievable. It's a Japanese iris. and just opened up today.
All right. Do you see a video?
I see a white screen.
All right, good. That's the beginning of the video. So,
oh,
all right.
Got worried.
This is the virtual component of our exhibit. So I hope that you're all pleased, and it does unveil at the end what the exhibit actually looks like. So even though you can't all be there tonight, we hope that it'll sort of feel like you're there. So I hope you enjoy this. that's the video. I just wanted to let everybody know that we'll be putting that up on our website and our YouTube channel. So it'll be available to anyone who isn't able to see the exhibit. So please feel free to share. And I'll send you all the artists a link so that they can share. I think at this time, we'd like to ask if any of the artists would like to say a few words about their pieces. If you just raise your hand, we're asking probably to keep it just 2 to 3 minutes so we can include as many artists as possible. And I'll just go ahead and unmute you and the floor will be yours.
Joanna has raised her hand.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Can you hear me? So my piece is the was that large sculpture with the denim sort of pouring out of a denim sewer pipe. Well, actually, let me back up a second. So I'm Joanna Norrie, and I'm an artist living in Georgia. I live just outside Atlanta, although I grew up in New Jersey and lived there for many, many years after college. I'm also a professor at the University of North Georgia, teaching textiles and weaving and 2D design. Two things converged that led me to make this sculpture. The first is that my husband, who is not a professional artist, but is a person who loves to make things, got it in his head that he wanted to learn how to make which is a material that you can cut on a saw, a bandsaw, and sand and shape just like you would wood. This bead is actually made out of blue jeans, and it's permeated with epoxy resin. So because he doesn't do anything in a little way, when he wanted to do this, he bought 100 pairs of damaged Levi's on eBay. And we decided after those arrived, and it was a massive quantity of damaged jeans, that we would collaborate on zero wasting all these jeans. So he got all the good stuff to make the micarta with, all the big pieces. And then I got everything else. I got the seams and the hems and the zippers and the pockets and the waistbands and all of that. And at the time I was getting my MFA at the University of Georgia in textiles. Yeah, this is the piece. And I made many sculptures for a whole. I devoted, all my work was made out of recycled denim, and yet we didn't even begin to touch zero wasting all of the jeans. So and to this day, we still have quite a lot left. The second thing was that right after I graduated, I got a job as an adjunct faculty member at another Georgia university in their textiles program, which was not a fine art program like the ones that I had gone to, but really much more of a technical program focused on apparel manufacturing. And I was really out of my league. I was really just a few weeks ahead of the students learning the curriculum as I was teaching the classes, because it wasn't really what I had studied. And one of the classes I taught was called Global Sourcing, and was all about how to source apparel manufacturing in other countries. And I asked them if I could modify the curriculum and go outside the textbook, and they said I could do whatever I wanted to do. And so I had my students read a book called Where Are You Wearing? Or I think that was what it was called, Where Are You Wearing? And he got the idea to find out where everything that he was wearing, where those things had come from, his t-shirt, his jeans, his sneakers. And he traveled to those countries, to Honduras and China and Bangladesh, to find out who had made the clothes that he was wearing. And one of the things I learned when I was teaching global sourcing was really just how devastating an impact our addiction to fast fashion is in the developing world. We outsource our manufacturing to other countries, not just because the labor is cheaper, and it is, but also because they have much less strict environmental laws. And one of the things I learned about blue jeans in particular is that it takes 2,000 gallons of water to make one pair of blue jeans. And then that water, after the manufacturing process, is just dumped out from the factories into streams and rivers filled with chemicals and dye, something that would be against the law in our country. So we source it out to other countries.
Wow.
So, so this sculpture that I made in early 2020, I cut 2,000 water drop shapes out of these repurposed Levi's, and then I sewed them to the dissected seams from those same jeans, and then I put them in a denim micarta covered sewer pipe so that they are, you know, evoking that idea of this dye-laden water pouring out from the factory. I made it in February last year. I made it specifically for a show that was in British Columbia that was 20 women artists who were all making work out of fiber, and we were limited to only using repurposed materials, and the work was about climate change. And I traveled with the sculpture to British Columbia the last weekend in February, first weekend in March. And then 3 days later, the whole world, including the gallery, shut down because of COVID. And it sat in a closed gallery for many months, and then they opened it back up again by appointment only for a few months. And I really just got it back a short while before sending it off to New Jersey. So very, very thrilled to be a part of this show. And it was really a wonderful video. Kelly, thank you so much. I'm really just so impressed by the other work in the show. And I really do hope that I can travel to New Jersey and see it before the end of August when it closes. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Joanna. Congratulations.
Great. I think Deborah's.
Hello, I'm in Los Angeles, in Santa Monica, and I'm on a mobile device. So I don't know, it's just, I can turn my camera on, but it's just a little bit crazy. Let's see, try to. There we go. Okay, so I'm thrilled to be in the show. It really made it come so alive to see the video and see these extraordinary works that people have created. And one thing that struck me is, despite the radical content of a lot of these pieces, the fact that it's all these tones of blue, and maybe it's just the way the video was put together, had a calming effect on me. I've done a lot of study and work with color, and blue has a lot of associations in it. It calms us and kind of streamlines us. So it was amazing to see all of these works in these tones of denim blue, and having kind of streaming through, and the streaming music, it just worked together really beautifully. I work quite a bit in the form of a book, and it's gone through different evolutions and permutations, but I did have a period a few years ago, it was like a few weeks ago, where I did a lot of work using denim. I like using canvas, and one of my mentors was teaching a class making paper out of blue jeans, and she's a bookmaker. I was thinking about that. But I found that I just really loved painting on this denim and showing parts of it, and then having my students do it, and they had fun painting on something that isn't traditionally considered a material to paint on. And so when the opportunity came up to apply to this show, I submitted some of these books that were primarily native denim and also painted. And the pages are also painted denim. So that's why I call the series Reading Color, because you see a traditional Western book form, you think about reading, but there really aren't words in it. So you're sort of reading the form and the color. And I had a class and the kids were painting on denim, and I had made this book, and I said, why doesn't everybody just take their paintbrushes and unload them, get rid of the excess paint on the cover of this book? And I was so amazed at the imagery, the design that resulted, and that is one of the books in the show. This is another one from that series. So it's bound as a codex and then has painted, and it's not that easy to paint on denim because it's not designed for it, it's very porous, but the pages start to become stiff and very substantial when you add the paint, and it starts to fill in the porousness of it. So I'm really pleased to be in the show, and I've done other works that are more wall work using the denim, and I just think it's a very evocative and provocative material. It makes me think of the quilters of Deep Bend in North Carolina and how they took old blue jeans as well as other materials, and even when they were completely worn out, they would cut them up and they would use the remaining fabric to create something new. And there's several works hanging in the show that look like piecework that were put together as a quilt or as a hanging that remind me of that as well. So thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to hearing what everyone else has to say. And thank you for making that beautiful video. I think it really shows the exhibition in a really lovely way.
Thank you, Deborah.
I think I see Malka's hand is up next, so we'll ask her to speak next.
Hello. I don't see my picture. Oh, there, okay. Well, I'm a painter, and I was interested in music and dance, and I started painting in rhythms with watercolor and also oil and acrylic too. And then I decided that I would cut the canvas up and sew it back together in rhythms and see what happened. And I noticed that the back was more exciting than the front. And then I took it off the stretcher, and then I was able to work with form and shape. So in the beginning, I was using canvas, but canvas started to become less easy to get, as I used to get 100 yards of it. And I just decided to ask my friends and family for their discarded denim, and they gave it to me. So I have plenty now, and they still keep giving it to me. So I use a Singer industrial sewing machine that my father got when he was an immigrant 70 years, well, how many years ago? Like 50 years ago, 70 years ago, 70 years ago. And I find it very useful because when I use thick material, I need a real strong machine. I also do some handwork also to connect the pieces. So the piece you see here, Stretch, I decided to add color, and that orange is an orange t-shirt. And so I had a couple panels where I had the orange underneath, and then I pleated and cut into it so you could see some of the orange. And I play with it. It's a process. I don't think it all out in the beginning. I I work with it on the floor. And first I worked with it horizontally, and then walked around the room and saw, gee, I really like those panels to be vertical. And it needed something else. So I made another piece with the orange right on top of the denim. And that's that middle piece. And it's attached to another piece. And when I hung it up on the wall, it looked like stretch as a dancer at sunrise. So that's how I completed that one. And I have wingspan, which looks like a kind of a butterfly to me. I used one pair of jeans, opened it up so that it would be as wide as possible, and used the inside on one wing and the outside on the other wing, and created folds with a pattern of stitches. So I was playing with the inside, outside, back, front, as in fact, that could easily be seen on the other side. And the other piece, woman, I started out with a lot of pleated panels that I had sewn up and just arranged it on the floor this way and that way. And then I started to twist the panels. And how would I attach it? It's like a process that continues until I get it on the wall. When I got it on the wall, I a top to it. So I created a top, and then it appeared as if it was a female. So that's how I created these pieces. And I must say, I really did enjoy that video also.
Yay, Kelly. Thank you, Malka.
Great. It looks like Howard has his hand raised, so we will.
Can you guys hear the train?
Yes.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Okay, I think we're set.
Good morning, everyone. It's morning over here anyways in Australia. Can you hear all right?
Yes.
Yep. So first off, I really appreciate, well, the artwork is amazing. It's really fascinating to see what everyone has done with denim. And a lot of those pieces are really interesting pieces that reminds me of the quilted pieces, remind me of the transcendental movement in New Mexico. They're really beautiful pieces. So I don't actually have any paintings hanging in the gallery because I'm over here in Australia, but I'm very honored to be included in the online portion of the exhibit. So I'm a New Mexican, but I'm living over here in Australia, and I do a lot of paintings on sewn canvas. I just stitch together my old jeans after they're worn out and use them as canvases. And one of the things that's really appealing to me is using the pockets, putting in this piece smoke signals, and then the other piece in jest is using the pockets to create other aspects of the painting image that then you can pull out like a pop-up page and expand the imagery. And a lot of my work focuses kind of around how humans have altered our environment to benefit our own species. And so I kind of explore those ideas with this series that I'm working on sewn denim. And yeah, it's just really amazing to see how everybody's used the material. It's fascinating. So, and I really appreciate being included in the exhibit, and the video was amazing, and the curation of the exhibit itself is spectacular. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Howard. Love your work.
Thank you.
Great, it looks like Michelle is next, so we'll go ahead and unmute her.
I'm here. My work, by the way, thank you. It's wonderful to see the work up and see it all together. And I volunteer at a thrift shop, and I'm horrified at the amount of denim that gets thrown out because the legs are too wide or too narrow, or their hips are too high or too low. And so I just started picking them out of the trash, because if they're not in style, they can't sell them at the thrift shop. So they were throwing them out or recycling them. So I just started playing with the inseams, and I also make blankets or coverlets out of the legs that I open up and cut up. I unpick the pockets, and I love seeing the sort of shadows of the history of the wear, and the shadows of the pockets and the seams. And but these are just the inseams on the legs. This and the sphere are all inseams. And then the third piece was made in a fit of rage while listening to the radio in my studio during the Me Too revelations. And each panel says something that either has been said to me or a friend of mine about things that women should do, like, you know, you should smile more, or calm down, or what were you wearing? All kinds of really infuriating things that we've all heard. And I used the denim because denim is so ubiquitous. Everybody wears it. You see it everywhere. And as a lot of these statements are everywhere and said to a lot of women. So that was, those just flew out of me very, very quick, came together very quickly. But the sphere and the flat circular piece have taken years and years to collect enough, because I'm using such a small amount of it, of the denim. And I keep playing with denim. It's something that I never tire using. I love indigo. I love the colors of it, but I love seeing the history of another body on the jeans. You see the pleats where they, you know, the knees wear out, or the seat wears out. And I just find it fascinating, and how everybody wears their jeans differently. And that's it. That's it for now.
Thank you, Michelle. I love your work so much. I want that spear.
You too can make one.
I know, but it's beautiful.
It's years of collecting. And I had to stop making it because I couldn't carry it anymore.
It's solid. I want everyone to know the whole thing is made out of the inseam. There's no styrofoam ball or anything in the middle. It's so heavy. It's all denim.
Yeah.
True. That's what I love about it the most.
It looks like Shirley's got her hand raised, so we'll go to her next.
You hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, no, we can't.
Not anymore.
I can. No, I can't.
No.
I can.
Hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Shirley Wagner. I'm from Tucson, Arizona. It's probably 115 degrees here today.
Oh, wow.
Having a hot, hot summer. So I'm an assemblage artist. For many years, I've brought parts and pieces together to build form. About 5 years ago, I started working with found objects, found artifacts, and they started making me think about the story that these pieces had, which led me to creating my own artifacts, if you will, out of fabric. So I started dyeing fabric and looking for fabric like denim that showed the hand of the wearer, the distress, the story, if you will. And I would take these fabrics and wrap them around my objects, wood, mostly wood. And so my work becomes more of a fabric sculpture, but fabric is treated in a way where I talk about the values of the colors, the stories, and I start to talk about an industrial edge to the work. So I'm having fun taking denim and wrapping it around objects. And I just wrap piles of it and then see where it's going to take me. And I treat it like I do my other work, but I look at it in a different way. And by the way, I love the way you curated the show as well. And you move slowly and you honored the art. And I know all of us artists appreciate that. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Shirley. Thank Kelly for that beautiful video.
Well, yeah. The curation was all Vaughn. She decides where everything goes, and so she's got a great eye for that. So it's definitely an effort.
Thank you, Kelly.
Of course. Allison messaged me that she would like to also speak, so I'm going to go ahead and ask her to unmute.
Unmute, I did.
Good.
Hi.
Hi there.
Oh, okay. There we go. Hi, everybody. I'm Allison. Can you hear me? Hello,
yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
I'm usually knee-deep in a hockey game right now, so this kind of stuff is a little bit new to me. But I pretty much embraced this call for Fine Art of Denim when I saw it because I'm a graduate of Parsons School of Design, and my background is fashion and accessory design. And what you're seeing right now is the back of the sculpture. It's not the front. So I'll start talking about the front a little bit, but as far as denim goes, I have lived in it. I have sewn it. I have ripped it and dyed it and painted it. And I've got yelled at by my parents for wearing it. And I have recently just sold it. So I am really happy to say that I embrace this wholeheartedly. For the Fine Art of Denim, I wanted to do something with wings. So I employed my well-played hockey shoulder pads for armor and created 2020 RIP. The denim covered armor is for all of the workers that have battled to protect people from the virus. The wings with tattered strips of denim are for the people that have lost their battle and passed. And if you turn the sculpture around, which you saw the front of to start with, the back of to start with, you'll see a pair of jeans facing you to say, "I see you coming," a forewarning. The insignia on the front of the jeans is orange, and it's for the sunrise and a new beginning and life. So I thank you for accepting me into selecting my sculpture for the gallery. And thank you, Vincent and Kelly. That's it.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. Mary would like to go next, so I went ahead and unmuted her.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mary Schwarzenberger. I live in Milford, New Jersey. When I dropped my piece off, I was able to glimpse a few of the pieces in the show, and I was absolutely blown away. And the video is fabulous. I cannot wait to go see it in person. Very, very wonderful. I feel very humbled and very honored to be part of it. This piece is called Tattered Heart, and in an interesting way of life working itself out, I had a boatload of denim scraps that I got rid of in a big studio cleaning. So I ended up taking all, and I had none here. So I went and I tried on a bunch of my old jeans and found some that really didn't fit, and there they went. In my fiber art, I really enjoy fabric manipulation and creating texture. And first of all, who doesn't love denim? The way it frays with the white threads coming out, it's just wonderful. And hearts are another recurring theme in my work. And this piece, I used an embellisher, which is a machine like needle felting to scrunch up things like organza, gives it a great texture. I save threads from other projects and use globs of those, especially silk. The luster of those silk fibers just blows me away. My other piece is going in circles and spiraling out of control. That one, I also love to use spirals in my work. And I also always ask that question, what if? So as I play with spirals, I have found things to do with them, like make mobiles from them, jewelry, all kinds of things. So this piece also has the pieces around the circles, the purple fabric. Those are bias strips of hand-dyed silk fabric. And I felt that the kind of psychedelic looking fabric in the background seemed to really go with this. It's hard to tell in the photograph, but the background of the large circles, that light colored, teal colored fabric, that is very metallic. And that kind of really gave it a nice effect with the shininess of it. And again, I'm really thrilled to be in the show, and you've done a fabulous job with the video, and I cannot wait to go see it all in person. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.
I don't see any other hands. I don't know if there's any other artists that would like to speak, or we're at about an hour, so I know that's everybody's Zoom limit at this point.
Do any of the participants want to make comments or say anything? I mean, not the artists, but the people who have joined us this evening to see the exhibit.
You can go ahead and raise your hand or put something in the chat.
I have to say, I wasn't sure what to expect, but Kelly, this has really been fun doing this virtual opening. And thank you so much for all the hard work you did, bringing all the artists together, collecting all the work, cataloging it, titling it, helping hang it, and all the communications with the artists. I know that was a bit overwhelming because there's always a lot of that back and forth. Unpacking it, doing the condition reports. I mean, it was an incredible amount of work. And thanks to Kelly, we were able to mount this amazing exhibit.
Yeah, well, I'd like to thank all the artists. You guys really made it easy. And just thank you for bearing with us for this virtual opening. You know, we have we've had these juried exhibits before COVID, and it has always been an in-person opening. And I do miss seeing and hearing from all the artists that are all over the country or abroad. We actually had a couple artists also from Germany who I don't think were able to join us tonight. But it is, thank you again for bearing with us for this virtual opening. I hope we can continue to do them even after everything opens back up. I do see Marion would like to say something. So let me go ahead and have her unmute.
Mute myself. There we go. Thank you. I came in late, but I enjoyed every minute that I was able to see. And I was wondering how can I see the video? Where will it be posted?
Sure. We're going to actually post it after. I wanted this to sort of be the unveiling, but we'll post it on the Fine Art of Denim webpage on our website at monmouth.edu, which.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Pull up at the end of the video here, so everybody has that, and I'll also put it in the chat. But let's see here. There you go. There's the website, and the video will be on the Fine Art of Denim page. So I think that's everybody who'd like to speak. So again, thank you to everybody for joining us, and And, you know, hopefully we look forward to seeing some of you in the gallery in person soon, if you can make it.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. And thank you to all the artists who participated. And of course, to Kelly.
And Vaughn.